The First Gulf War, also known as the Persian Gulf War or Operation Desert Storm, was a military conflict that took place between August 2, 1990, and February 28, 1991. The war was triggered by Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, which posed a threat to regional stability and international oil supplies. Background: in 1990, Saddam Hussein, the president of Iraq, accused Kuwait of overproducing oil and stealing Iraqi oil from the Rumaila oil field. Additionally, he claimed that Kuwait was using slant drilling to extract oil from Iraqi territory. Hussein saw this as a violation of Iraq's economic interests and territorial integrity and decided to invade Kuwait on August 2, 1990. International response: the international community condemned Iraq's actions and called for an immediate withdrawal. The United Nations Security Council passed a series of resolutions, demanding Iraq's withdrawal from Kuwait. When Iraq ignored these resolutions, a US-led coalition of 35 countries, including Arab and Western nations, assembled to enforce the UN mandates and liberate Kuwait. The war, on January 17, 1991, a massive air campaign, known as Operation Desert Storm, began, targeting key military and infrastructure sites in Iraq. The coalition forces' air superiority allowed them to gain control of the skies quickly. Iraqi forces responded by launching Scud missiles at both coalition military bases and civilian targets in Israel and Saudi Arabia, hoping to provoke Israeli involvement and fracture the coalition. In February 1991, the coalition launched a ground offensive, driving Iraqi forces out of Kuwait. The ground war lasted only 100 hours, and the coalition achieved a swift victory due to better equipment, training, and coordination. The war officially ended on February 28, 1991, with a ceasefire agreement brokered by the UN. Aftermath: the First Gulf War resulted in a decisive victory for the coalition forces. Kuwait was liberated, and Iraq's military capabilities were severely damaged. However, despite their overwhelming military success, the coalition stopped short of marching to Baghdad and overthrowing Saddam Hussein, leaving him in power. In the aftermath of the war, the UN imposed economic sanctions on Iraq to compel compliance with disarmament demands. These sanctions had a devastating impact on Iraq's economy and civilian population, leading to humanitarian crises. Legacy: the First Gulf War had significant implications for the region and the world. While Kuwait was restored to its pre-war status, Iraq's grievances remained unresolved, laying the groundwork for future conflicts. The presence of US troops in Saudi Arabia during the war led to resentment among some Islamist groups and played a role in the rise of Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. In conclusion, the First Gulf War was a swift and decisive military operation that expelled Iraqi forces from Kuwait, but it also had long-lasting consequences that shaped the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East in the following decades. Alright folks, for more videos subscribe to Oddity and hit that bell icon too. Adios.